Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ken Dashow.
Love you, Ken.
How many times does the band get to introduce me? Mark Rivera, Mark Ribler, the Disciples of Soul, rocking out this morning. Thank you, guys. Is it any wonder Billy Joel has this man on stage every night, and Ringo has him as his music director, and little Steven brings these guys on? That, boys and girls, is called live rock and roll. Yes. That's what we're all about at Q1043, New York's classic rock. As Mark said, welcome. I'm so glad you're here at the Hard Rock Cafe. Ken Dashow, afternoons. It's what we've been doing our whole lives. From Scott Muni, who inspired us all, name-checked at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this weekend. It was just spectacular. And that's what it's all about, bringing the live experience to people. There's just nothing else like this. It's live, it's real, it's not computers, it's people sweating, giving you everything they have. And when Bernie Dillon, who's the vice president of entertainment, came to breakfast with the Beatles, we just started talking about all these exciting things that could happen and what's going on. And I found out what's going on in Atlantic City. As a kid, I grew up always going down to the boardwalk, the Steel Pier. I remember La Concha Hotel. Well, now it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Jim Allen. He's the chairman of the Hard Rock International, CEO of Seminole Gaming. This man's a New Jersey native. He started in AC and has worked his way up, but he understands rock and roll. Hey, is there anybody in this room who sung with Bruce Springsteen and Little Steven? No. Thank you. That's all I have to say. That's his real credits. He is thrilled to bring the hard rock experience to the boardwalk. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jim Allen.
Thank you, Ken. You know, back in 2006, the Seminole Tribe of Florida shocked the world by announcing it was going to purchase Hard Rock International. And that seems like it was yesterday that myself and the tribal leaders and many, many members of the tribe came here to the legendary Paramount Theater, the original stage of, and now obviously the home of Hard Rock here in Times Square. So we meet again, and when we announced about, 8, 9 months or so ago that we were going to step into the Atlantic City gaming market, we had a different viewpoint. And our viewpoint was that it's not about gaming. It's about entertainment. So today, with our partners, first of all, I'd like to introduce Jack Mars. Jack, would you like to stand? Mike Gingoli and Joe Gingoli. We had a lot of meetings and a lot of conversations. Jack, Mike, and Joe will be on stage here in a moment to obviously address anyone's questions and get some of their thoughts. But the question is and was, can Atlantic City take the next step? And we were 100% convinced that it can. We believed that we needed to find the right asset, put the right team together, and create something that is truly an international destination. And frankly, we looked at a lot of buildings and a lot of assets. And even before we created our partnership, virtually every building in Atlantic City, or one time or another, people had talked to us about, would the Hard Rock brand work there? And from my viewpoint, we wanted to make sure that we built something world class. We come back to Atlantic City with a mindset of growing the market. And today, we're going to give you a few videos. We promise not a lot of long speeches. We're going to let you have some insight into what's happening at the property from a rendering standpoint. We figure by now if our competition wants to rebuild everything they have, then that's great. But truly, we hired an unbelievable design team led by our in-house Joe Emanuel, Jeffrey Beers out of New York, Sash, both out of Atlantic City and New York. The contractors we have, TM Ward and Gingoli Associates, the local unions, the city of Atlantic City, the county, the state, the existing governor, the previous governor. And remember, Hard Rock is a non-political organization. We don't get in the middle of politics. But we certainly have had nothing but a welcome mat to try to create these 3,000 jobs, an economic boost to Atlantic City, a tremendous tax base, and obviously growing the market. If we were to look back 3 years ago, would anybody have predicted that the Atlantic City market would have grown 22% last year? Would anybody have predicted that 3 years in a row the market has grown? Nobody. They're actually saying the opposite. They were actually projecting that by this year the market would be less than $2 billion, and actually it's now back up to $2.7 billion, and it is still the second largest gaming market in the United States. So make no mistake, if you have a destination that still is attracting, in some of the more challenging times, 3-4 years ago, 26 million people on an annual basis, there is a lot of business and there's a lot of opportunity for all of us. When we think about that we are basically a 3-hour drive from close to 30 million residents here in the eastern part of the United States, we love our opportunity. We love the ability to move forward. And I think it's important that before we get into some of the specific slides, to just talk about a couple other things. The Hard Rock brand is not a gaming brand. The name of the company is Seminole Hard Rock Entertainment. The Seminole tribe of Florida funded $400 million in cash. We do not have any debt on this particular project. That's something that's so unique. Obviously, our partners, we've come together to almost a 50-50 split on our equity now. We're looking to take this to the next step. But we truly are committed to creating a world-class product. And Hard Rock is not about gaming. It's about entertainment. We're going to show you a video in a couple moments that for the first time, we've been told no entertainment company has ever launched 60 entertainment acts at one time. That'll be going on sale this Friday. We are amazed at the amount of receptiveness that we're receiving from the music community to play Atlantic City. We also can tell you today that we've booked over 300 shows. It was only 3 months ago that we said 200 shows. So when's the last time that any individual property, whether it be in Macau, whether it be in Singapore, my good friend Bia Song has come all the way from Singapore, whether it be in Las Vegas, that's booked 300 acts at one time in 1 year. So it shows the commitment that we as an entertainment brand, as a hospitality brand, have made to the city of Atlantic City. We are very excited that the other casinos in Atlantic City are reinvesting in their product. When we had made the announcement a little over a year ago, within the first 30 days, we had over 400 million media impressions about Hard Rock coming to Atlantic City. And while I would love to tell you I read every single article, I did not. However, we could not find, or our publicity team could not find, any negative story on this particular concept. When we think about what's happened to the local real estate market, you know, unemployment, all those things are moving in the right direction. No one's talking about Atlantic City going bankrupt anymore. Tax bases are increasing, and we're excited to have this opportunity. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you a couple slides, make sure we got all of our technology working, on who we are. And basically, you know, this is just a quick slide on Hard Rock as a global international company. The Hard Rock brand is now in 75 countries around the world. We're approaching $6 billion. Actually, in 2018, we will exceed $6 billion in global revenue. We have over 37,000 employees. Last year alone, we booked over 35,000 music acts. If anybody's been tracking Large Stadium, the new Hard Rock Stadium, with our relationship with Steve Ross from the Related Group, has been nothing short of amazing. Whether it be U2, whether it be Taylor Swift, whether it be Beyonce, Jay-Z, Metallica, whether it be International World Cup Soccer, whether it be moving the Biscayne Open tennis tournament to Hard Rock Stadium, it's just an entertainment, you know, amazing capital, if you will, now of South Florida. The 100-year anniversary of the NFL and Super Bowl 2020 will be at Hard Rock Stadium. Now, Todd will get nervous because I'll talk too much about the other Hard Rock locations, so he's here to keep me out of trouble and make sure I talk about Atlantic City. But the Hard Rock brand is alive and doing very well. And the one thing we are extremely confident about is that it will create the curiosity to come to Atlantic City. And when we think about Atlantic City, you know, Atlantic City has had some amazing ups and downs. But nobody would dispute that back on April the 2nd, 1990, when the Trump Taj Mahal opened, it was referred to as the eighth wonder of the world. And the reality is that was the most expensive casino hotel or individual freestanding hotel ever built in the history of gaming or hospitality. Let me give you a comparison. The amazing Mirage Hotel in Las Vegas opened in December of '89. That facility only cost $675 million, and the Taj, when it opened, cost $1.2 billion. So that when Joe, Michael, Jack, and I sat down, the 4 million square feet of this building is something that we knew was built for a long time, you know, philosophy, if you will. So we've taken the site that's on 17 acres. We have completely redone it. And I don't mean just some new carpet and a few guitars on the walls. If you were in the middle of the casino floor 5 months ago, you would have seen concrete above you and concrete on the floor. If you were in a guest room, you would have seen the room completely gutted. We're not using the old toilet, the old sink. These rooms have been completely redone. They are brand new. All of the restaurants are brand new, except for a couple examples where, frankly, like a legendary restaurant that's been in Atlantic City forever called Dynasty. We renovated it, but it just had such an amazing culture and history that we felt it was important to keep some of those bones. My great friend Mark Edis, who that amazing entertainment facility was named after, Mitchell, his brother, called me and said, I only have one question. And I said, what's that, Mitchell? He said, are you going to keep the name? 100% the entertainment facility will be called Hard Rock Live at the Edis Arena, but now the capacity will be at 7,000. So we look to truly create an entertainment destination. I don't ever want to be disrespectful to anyone in the industry, but most people don't realize there's a second theater in that building that has a capacity of almost 2,000 that frankly was virtually never used. And when you're going to see all kinds of Broadway shows, all kinds of entertainment, and a special little video we're going to show you here in a moment that will really surprise some people about what people are interested in Atlantic City. You know, obviously we're in the casino business. We couldn't spend over $500 million. I guess the word there, Jack, is I said over. So yes, we are over $500 million. But the philosophy of the partnership, including we spent 6 hours together last night, we're going to do it right or we're not going to do it at all. If you look at the amazing projects that these gentlemen owned, you know, by themselves or what we've done separately, both companies have come together to do something special, and that's the commitment that we have made. So now I think we have a couple renderings, I believe. So that is the entrance. So the one thing I can promise you, there are no minarets, there are no Taj signs, there's no purple or magenta or any of those beautiful colors. Anybody remember those like millions of beads that were in the building? We still find a couple of them every once in a while. But the reality is we truly did gut the building. And when you walk into the hotel lobby or you see just the entrance itself, yes, we're putting one of our 80-foot iconic Hard Rock guitars. That kind of bronze exterior facade has its own light show. One of the things that's amazing about the building, when the Chairman's Tower was built, believe it or not, that is the newest tower in Atlantic City, which we've completely redone those rooms also. We've created a whole signage package that I believe we needed 72 variances, Joe, is that correct? I believe that was the number. But once again, the city, DCA, and everybody came together, you know, to create something that now you're going to see this mega resort on the boardwalk in Atlantic City. This is the main entrance. You can see, obviously, all the wood finishes and sandstone materials. Everything has been redone. And I will be redundant saying that. That is a shot down the main casino floor. So, and as you can see that all the pathways going through the casino are of stone surface. Frankly, the tradition in most of the Atlantic City casinos has just been carpet. I think Borgata is the only other property that's using stone pathways. We had some great debate with our design team about the cost of it, but congratulate Joe and Jeffrey Beers, they won the battle. But the reality is that floor is in. We were walking on it yesterday. Truly spectacular. As nice as any marble that you've seen in any of the New York hotels or any of the Las Vegas hotels. So this is, as I was mentioning, is the Hard Rock Live at the Edis Arena. You could see how the seating has been completely reconfigured, a brand new sound system, a state-of-the-art acoustic system. We look to put a minimum of 100 major acts in this particular room on an annual basis. And frankly, if you've been tracking Atlantic City, most of the casinos are frankly just offering entertainment on Saturday nights, and not every Saturday night, but virtually no one is doing any entertainment during the week. We've taken a totally different approach. And one of the things that we can also relate to you is the parent company of Hard Rock enjoys an investment grade rating from Moody's, Standard & Poor, and Fitch. And for those of you that are not into the financial, interesting sectors, we have the strongest balance sheet in the industry. We're levered at less than 1. So we can weather any storm. We can be very patient to let the business grow. And we think that is so important. Let the business grow. Do a great show on a Thursday night. Have people come in, take work, off on Friday, and spend 3-4 nights in Atlantic City. When you see our TV commercials that'll be coming out shortly, and actually we were looking at some of the reaction, from the studies we've done, is we're focusing not just on Hard Rock, but on Atlantic City itself. And we encourage people to go to Cape May or go over to the Borgata if there's a great show there, or Caesars, or whatever it is. Because we are in this for the long run, and we can afford to do that because of the financial strength of the organization, and we are going to maximize entertainment in Hard Rock Live, and a new little place we're going to have somebody give us a little video presentation on, I hear. I'm not sure. Is that true, Todd? I get myself in trouble. So this is a shot of the other 2,000-seat theater that we have in the facility. So clearly we are committed to entertainment. I think that when we look at the design of our casino, we have found that making sure you have the amenities for the individual segments of the marketplace, whether you're a $100 slot customer or you're a $10 million table games customer, or if you're an international customer, whether it be from Asia or wherever that may be, we've truly designed an entertainment, a food and beverage, and an actual gaming space with the amenities that are respectful to their cultures. Remember, Hard Rock is not just about rock and roll. We are about blues. We are about Motown. We are about, you look at Hard Rock Stadium, whether it's Beyonce or Jay-Z, Taylor Swift, Shakira. We go through all genres of music on an annual basis, and that is something that's very important to us. So we know that it's exciting, and what we're here to tell you is that the official opening date of Hard Rock Atlantic City will be June 28th, 2018. Now, I would tell you that if you walked the building right now, you would swear that Michael, Joey, Jack, and I are crazy, okay? But we, separately from this project, have another 32 hotels that we're opening between now and 2021, and about another 9 casinos. I walked the building yesterday, and I left there last night at 9:30 or so, extremely confident that that date is 100% in stone. We have absolutely no fear that we're not going to make it. We've seen it happen so many times in the business where people announce a date and they don't make it and they postpone and they delay. But what we can tell you is that we are so confident about that is that our website, AtlanticCityHardRock.com, is that correct, Todd? Give or take? Hard Rock Hotel AtlanticCity.com is now officially open and taking reservations. So please feel free on your phone. In addition, as I mentioned, we are announcing a minimum of 300 shows for the upcoming year, and we're putting 60 on sale this Friday at 12 noon. So, and as I mentioned, we're talking to our friends at Live Nation and Ticketmaster. To their recollection and to ours, nobody can figure out if any organization ever launched 60 shows at one time. So I think it clearly demonstrates our commitment into the market that this is an entertainment facility, not just a casino. So with that, I think we're going to go to a video. Is that correct, Todd? So we have a little video to give you an idea of who's coming and who's playing.
courtesy of the red, white, and blue.
We'll go to the movies and he'll be like, do you want to get a popcorn? And I'll be like, oh my God, I hadn't even thought about it. And then he's like, what size do you want? And I'm like, small, look at me.
I'm talking breaker, breaker, one-nighter. She's a flatliner. Baby, you ain't worth the whiskey. She should be here, standing with your arm around me. Are you reeling in the years? Stowing away the time. 19. No, we can't dance together. Get along, keep shining me. Get along, keep shining me. Ricky don't lose that love. Whiskey out the bottle, not thinking about tomorrow. Singing Sweet Home Alabama all summer long. I put your picture away, sat down and cried today. That heart and that soul, American rock and roll.
Ever hear of the show? No, geez, I think they have like 14 million visitors per episode. Anyway, we have a special video coming from their show last night that was recorded live.
Howie Mandel here, just saying how excited I am to partner with the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City, where, get this, they are opening up a Howie Mandel comedy club. It's like a dream come true. That's opening on June 28th, and I've always wanted my own club. I've always wanted to book myself, and I'm going to book myself. You'll see people like me from time to time. I'll definitely be there, but you'll see big internationally famous comedians and friends of mine, and you never know who's going to drop by, and it's going to be a great room. I own a club, Howie Mandel's Comedy Club. That's at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City, opening June 28th. I'm so excited. Thank you.
So certainly the team's been extremely busy, and it would be unfair to not recognize Matt Harkness, the property president. Matt, please stand up. And the legendary Bernie Dillon. Bernie, please stand. Bernie and I have worked together off and on for 30 plus years. And what's really amazing is all the amazing events when the Rolling Stones first came to Atlantic City and so many other boxing, all the big-time boxing. Bernie is the guy that created it all with the legendary Mark Geddes we were speaking of earlier. So we somehow convinced Bernie to leave Florida. I'm not sure how we did that, but he's obviously launching the Atlantic City project for us, and we look forward to many great things working with Bernie with Hard Rock on a global basis. So I think we're at the point that we want to open up and do some Q&A. Is that correct, Todd? So if we could ask our partners, Jack, Michael, and Joe, and I think John and Bernie and Matt are coming up. Is that correct? I think we got everybody. Come on up, guys.